Courage the Cowardly Dog, a show that may or may not ring a bell. Starring Courage, a dog that is adopted by Muriel and a statch bag in the middle of nowhere and with spooky ghouls and monsters appearing now and then. But what if I told you there was a canceled game that was intended to be released, but never was? On itch.io, there's a game called Courageow that archives the game in its glorious form. And I'm here to unravel all of that, going high and low to every single one of these until we find all of them. Promotion break! Hooray! Hey guys, I have other socials. For example, I have a Discord server where I show you teasers and sneak peeks for upcoming videos like this. Unless it's like 30 days late and the link decays and whoops. I also have a Twitch. I live stream there. Nobody goes there anymore. Anyways, enough yapping. Let's go back into the video. Courage the Dog, ARG. You're gonna watch this video? When we start, we are placed into the house Courage lives. And going around and walking, you can find all sorts of things, with, unfortunately, most of them being locked. While all the doors may seem like it's locked and it's just this, there is the attic with the computer. When we interact with it, nothing happens. But going back down... Why is it red? Why is it so red? Why is it so red? The room is lit up with a bright red, but if we interact with the kitchen door, the red is gone. Now what? Well, let's just go back into the attic and maybe that'll answer our... Oh, fun fact, this face is actually based off of a character from an episode. His name is the Spirit of the Harvest Moon. Yes, this is a real character that aired on a show. Interacting with him now. Find them? Find what? Find what? Find... When going all the way back to the exit, this is what it gives us. What is them? Oh, do I need to go out? Oh, I'm... stupid. What? We are placed in a dark hallway. Within this hallway gives us a plethora of chairs and a pentagram in the middle. This, however, it isn't a pentagram. This is actually a puzzle. Thanks to the help of some people, I learned this shape is guiding us to know which order to interact with the chairs. However, doing it in said way gives us nothing. At first glance. If you go near the walls, you can occasionally hear birds chirping. If you hear that, go into the wall, as it has zero collision. In there, we see a hallway with no walls at all. And at the edge of that, an interactable thing. Interacting it activates something. This something is not a pleasant sight. Hey, I'm back. What in the absolute... Huh? This is Muriel. Muriel is dead. Muriel is the owner of Courage. Interacting with this crashes the game, and upon opening the game, brings us this. I'm gonna do this without my... No, hold on, what? Oh! Oh my god, wait! It changes! We are left in a dead end. But there are 2 text files in the game folder. So why not we check that out? The first one is basically just, a developer note. But the second one, instead of being a helping thing or anything useful for any information, we get this.
You find it at end? Just erase time.
The only way to progress is to erase my save file. So, once I went there, I noticed something. The .save file is a lot of mumbo-jumbo pile of gibberish, like usual. But there was one line in the code that said,
Time. None.
Now you know why the readme text was there. So, let's do that. Let's erase time. Let's go all the way back at what I'll call the sigil section. There is something I thought about that I didn't think of last time. What happens if I fall down into the void? Well, luckily for me, I was bang on the money, because falling down actually crashes the game. So, nothing, right? Ahem.
Wrong.
As reopening and playing the game gives us the house, but with zero furniture or anything. Well, let's go into the oh, we can't. Well, I mean, can't we just... Clock ticks and ticks and ticks. And what we can hear being sounds in the sequence, almost like Morse code. The more the clock ticks, this happens. What is that noise? Oh! Glitching sounds can be heard as the game, once again, crashes. However, hey, can you go back there? Okay, good. What if we just don't activate the trigger, like to start the clock thing? Like, we go on the rail and you go down there and... Is there anything? Oh, really? There is? Oh! It worked. I actually didn't think that would work. Well, since we didn't activate the trigger, we can actually go into the kitchen door. Upon entering, we are brought with a data missing file. But thanks to the power of brightening the image, we get a message.
Father wasn't home.
This concludes the first data missing file. Okay, first off, let's address the elephant in the room, the Morse code. I forgot to mention it in the script, but the Morse code translates to
Learn the way of the old wind.
This message itself is very confusing. However, if we take the capitalization of old and wind, we get ow. You know what else has ow? Say it with me. That's right, Courageow. Here's a cookie. Another weird thing is that if you skim through the files, you can actually see a text file which reads,
He followed the rules. He broke the rules. All the way to the right.
Don't know who this he is, but we can obviously make an interpretation that the she is Muriel. Enough of that, we have to focus on this. Also, unrelated note, if I had a nickel for every single time I had to dig into the files to find something and progress, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't much, but it happened twice. Anyways, remember this? There's actually an invisible maze here that is nearly impossible to solve unless you do one of 2 ways, which is A, use a spectrogram to see a secret map, or B, get the mod Reshade and save a bunch of time. Now, this may seem easy if you know Reshade, like hell and back, but, you wanna know how long this took me in total and, literally just the entire, footage? This took me exactly
42 minutes!
Sooner or later, I actually got it working. If you use Reshade, you can actually see the whole map without going through pain. Also, during this, I was losing my mind. I'll just play a clip. Did you know that the famous YouTuber Shikaberg made a video about Courage the Cowardly Dog, where they played Courageow, an ARG that was made by... When we go into the chair, the game crashes, but don't think we did this for nothing, no sir. As when reopening the game, are placed in the house yet again, but something's obviously different. I mean, like, why are there coins? Why do the coins have the pentagram logo that we saw back then? Why do we... Is that Muriel? But she's dead. We saw her. Is she? Well, what happens if we just... The image distorts. And sooner or later, another data missing screen. But we know what we gotta do. If we did the same for this image and brighten it up, we get this.
It was her, Eleanor.
This concludes the second data missing screen. The final data missing screen is located at the void room again. However, instead of going left, how about we go right? I noticed something in the distance that was somewhat interesting that looked like an object. I was sort of right, because going there greets us with another interactable thing. Only this time it teleports you instead of crashing your game and then you see the sequence go on. The ability to move the camera is gone, and the only thing that stands is either a mansion or a house. Behind the building leads us to... Wait, who is Robert? There is no character nor any mention of Robert being a character? I'm just gonna open the game. Maybe that'll be important. The room is dark, and there's only one way to go. That's being lit up for us upstairs. But when doing that, this happens. The third and final data missing screen, which when brightening the image, gives us a sentence.
Mr. Wheeler was there to greet me.
This concludes the final data missing screen. Okay, so, what was that? A lot just happened, so before I just go right straight ahead to the next one, let's just, break down the things. If we go into the game files, thank you Drago Bob for being here to have me see this. I would have not done this without you. You can see that the model for the entity that was slowly approaching us is called
MI_Real Wheeler
in the files. For the random text in the data missing screens, we either have
Father wasn't home, Mr. Wheeler came to greet me, it was her Eleanor,
or
it was her Eleanor, Father wasn't home, and Mr. Wheeler came to greet me.
The obvious thing I need to talk about is the picture behind the house. Name there is Robert W, but we obviously know what it means. We can make a guess that the full name is Robert Wheeler, given the context we've already known. But it is time for my concluding thoughts. I'm not good at making stuff like theories and but I am somewhat good at sharing my thoughts. So I'm gonna do exactly that. Courageow is hands down my favorite ARG game. It is an underrated ARG that hasn't been talked about in years. If it wasn't for a user sharing a whole summary that took 2 hours to make, I wouldn't have been here explaining about it. But they did. And I'm here. Writing, finding, and seeing this has been fun to make. I like ARGs that require you finding something and feeling proud of it. I'm sorry if I rushed it, or if this isn't a long-form video. The algorithm is, very, very painful, and also I'm worried about what the viewers will think. Besides, I don't want to share theories like, those big YouTubers, because I might sound insane. I want to show people what ARGs I see and like. Anyways, I'm gonna say some special thanks because these people have done a helpful job into helping me progress. First of all, Shocked Fire, thank you for being there when I needed help. Without that, I wouldn't have made this video. Drago Bob, for showing Courageow after some years later. Without that, I would have not known what this was, nor have I seen that summary. And you for watching. Anyways, don't forget, if you want me to make some more videos like this, make sure, if you want to, subscribe. It really helps me out. Anyways, bye-bye.